Hello, everybody. My name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. Live in the city of Memphis, state of Tennessee, the county sheriff. Today's date is early Monday morning, March 23rd, 2015, time 2 a.m. Date today, video with yesterday, day which would be Sunday, March 22nd, 2015. I want to first say thank you to all my fans, my support for your continued encouragement and support. Always keep all my fans, my support informed. And as I stated yesterday, I'm no longer employed at Ameriprise. Got into an altercation with a coworker, and I was terminated. So the union is gonna in the process of getting me re-employed. But I'll continue to further my education at Monroe College online, pursuing my associate degree in studying business administration with a concentration in marketing. And I'll continue. Matter of fact, the lawsuit that's already in the court. Want to thank the Hewlett Law Firm for everything that they've done and will continue to do, because they've been doing a heck of a job in getting this legal matter in the court. And I do have a court date with One Sound Studio before the middle of next month, April. And also in the process of getting all the information we need on this Carlos Williams guy who called himself Luga. And in his wicked film coming, he out here panhandling people to do music videos and to do videos and things of this nature. And he thought that made him smart by not giving nobody the address, but them investigators will find every Carlos Williams on this planet. They'll find every Eric Dwayne Johnson or Eric D. Johnson on this planet. And until they narrow it down to who they looking for. So you ain't get away with it. And we're in the process. I just talked to the youth law firm Friday, and they getting all the information on him. So in the very near future, you're gonna have a court date for him too. But on today's video, we're gonna continue to talk about African traditional religion, West African traditional religion. And I encourage each and every person that's listening, watching this video, to get all the information you can from all the institutions of higher learning, such as the National Open University of Nigeria in Sub-Saharan Africa, about attending and about enrolling and attending these institutions of higher learning. So let's go to the National Open University of Nigeria website, because they teach African traditional religion. Okay, we're on National Open University Nigeria's online courseware material. And we had to go to the School of Arts and Social Sciences. And okay, they teach Introduction to African Traditional Religion, CTH 192. It's CTH 192. African Traditional Religion and Culture, CTH 491. It's CTH 491, African Traditional Religion and Culture. Theology of African Traditional Religion, CTH 792. Theology of African Traditional Religion, CTH 792. African Traditional Religious Mythology and Cosmology, CTH 891. African Traditional Religious Mythology and Cosmology, CTH 821. 821. Now, I downloaded all three, but the fourth one, I tried to download it, and when you try to download it, it's a PD, what they call a PDF. But African Traditional Religion, Introduction to African Traditional Religion, I downloaded African Traditional Religion and Culture. African Traditional Religion and Culture. Download it. Theology of African Traditional Religion. Theology of African Traditional Religion. Now, the other one, there's African Traditional Religion, Mythology, and Cosmology. Now, it was a PDF, but you can possibility now you can download it. So I'm gonna go back and check it out. But it's there. but the National Open University of Nigeria had access in general study. Then the School of Arts and Social Science. Then they also have School of Science and Technology. They have a School of Health Sciences, School of Agricultural Sciences, School of Education, and a School of Law. And they also have a School of Management Sciences. Okay. Now, that was the National Open University of Nigeria's online courseware. And like I say, they teach African traditional religion, uh, African traditional religion and culture, theology of African traditional religion, African traditional religious cosmology and mythology. National Open University of Nigeria, they teach it. So get all the information you need about enrolling and attending the National Open University of Nigeria and other institutions of higher learning in sub-Saharan Africa. Now, we're going to continue to talk about African traditional religion, West African traditional religion, and we're going to go to languages of Africa. Now, the Afro-Asiatic languages, the Berber, the Chadic, the Kush, the Egyptian, Omatic, and the Semitic. We already know I started with the Semitic. We're going to go through this. And the Semitic language, our language family, originating in the Near East, we live and represent spoken more than 400 million people across much of Western Asia, North Africa, and Horn of Africa, as well as large expatriate community in North America and Europe, and constitute a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family. It says the most widely spoken Semitic language today: Arabic, Amharic, Hebrew, Tigrinya, and modern Aramaic. So let's go through the Hebrew. Hebrew is a West Semitic language of the Afro-Asiatic language family. Hebrew belongs to the Canaanite group of languages, and the Canaanite language are a branch of the Northwest Semitic family of languages. The Canaanite language are a subfamily of Semitic languages which were spoken by the ancient peoples of the Canaan region. Canaanites include the Israelites and the Phoenicians, Amorites, Ammonites, Moabites, Edomites, and Carthaginians. The Phoenician and Carthaginian Spanish spread the Phoenician language and its Punic dialect to the western Mediterranean. Now it says Phoenicians extinct, Punic is extinct, Hebrew, the Ammonite is extinct, Moabite is extinct, Edomite is extinct, Biblical Hebrew is extinct. Then you have Tiberian Hebrew, Mizrahi Hebrew, Yemenite Hebrew, Sephardic Hebrew, Ashkenazi Hebrew, Misnaic Hebrew, Medieval Hebrew, Ashkali Hebrew, Modern Hebrew, Israeli Hebrew, Ancient Samaritan Hebrew, and Samaritan Hebrew. that was the Hebrew. Now let's go to Arabic. Arabic is a Central Semitic language closely related to Aramaic, Hebrew, Ugaritic, and Phoenician. Arabic usually designate one of three main variants: classical Arabic, modern standard Arabic, and colloquial dialectical Arabic. Now that was the Arabic. Now we're going to go to Amharic. Amharic is a Semitic language spoken in Ethiopia. It is the second most spoken Semitic language in the world after Arabic and the official working language of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. It's written from left to right using Amharic 5AL, which grew out of the Ge'ez Abegida, which is called in Ethiopian Semitic language 5AL alphabet, letter, or character. That's the Amharic. And Tigrinya is an Afro-Asiatic language belonging to the family Semitic branch. Tigrinya was one of Eritrea's official languages during its short-lived federation with Ethiopia. In 1958, it was replaced with the southern Ethiopian language Amharic prior to its annexation upon Eritrea's independence in 1991. Tigrinya retained the status of working language in the country. Only state in the world to date to award Tigrinya recognition on the national level. That's Tigrinya. Aramaic is a family language or dialect belonging to the Semitic family. It is a part of the Northwest Semitic subfamily, which also includes Canaanite languages such as Hebrew and Phoenician. The history of Aramaic is broken down into three broad periods: the Old Aramaic, Middle Aramaic, and Modern Aramaic. And that was Semitic. Let's go to Omatic. The Omatic language are a branch of the Afro-Asiatic family spoken in southwestern Ethiopia. The Ge'ez script is used to write some Omatic language. The Latin alphabet, some other they are fairly agglutinative. The North and South Omatic branches, Omatic and Somatic, are universally recognized. That was the Omatic. Egyptian is the oldest known language of Egypt and a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family. Egyptian belongs to the Afro-Asiatic language family. Scholars group the Egyptian language into six major chronological divisions: Archaic Egyptian language, Old Egyptian language, Middle Egyptian language, Late Egyptian language, Demotic Egyptian language, and Coptic Egyptian language. Cushite. The Cushitic language are a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family spoken primarily in the Horn of Africa, Somalia, Eritrea, Djibouti, and Ethiopia, as well as the Nile Valley, Sudan, and Egypt, and parts of the African Great Lakes region, Tanzania, and Kenya. The branch is named after the biblical character Cush, who is identified as an ancestor of the speakers of these specific languages. The Cushitic languages are usually considered to include the following branches: Bayer, North Cushitic, Central Cushitic, Aga, Highland East Cushitic, Sidamic, Lowland East Cushitic, Dule, and South Cushitic. Chadic language are a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family that is spoken in parts of the Sahel. They include 150 languages spoken across northern Nigeria, southern Niger, southern Chad, central Africa, and northern Cameroon. Most widely spoken Chadic language is Hassay. The West Chadic, two branches which include A, the Hassay, Rum, Boli, and Angus language, and B, the Badi, Waja, and Zar language. BU Mandare, Central Chadic, three branches, A, the Bure, Kanwi, and Bete, B, the Badume and Musbu language, and C, Gaida. The East Chadic, two branches, A, the Tumac, and Siri and Kire language, and B, the Dengliad, the Kulu, and Socorro language, and the Maasai. That's the Chadic. Then we have the Berber. The Berber are a family of some similar and closely related languages and dialects indigenous to North Africa. Berber constitutes a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family. Berber-speaking population speak one of 6 major varieties of Berber. They are in the order of demographic weight: Tashilhit, Kabyle, Atlas, Tamazite, Rifi, Shawi, and Tuareg. That's the Berber. Now, that's the Afro-Asiatic language. Let's go to the Nilo-Saharan. The Nilo-Saharan languages are a proposed family of African languages spoken by some 50 million people, mainly in the upper parts of the Chari and Nile River, including historic Nubia, north and west, 2 tributaries of the Nile meet. See, the language extends through 1719 in the northern half of Africa, from Algeria to Benin in the west, from Libya to the Democratic Republic of the Congo in the center, and from Egypt to Tanzania in the east. So, the major languages within the Nilo-Saharan language are a number of languages. Luo, or Dulo language of the Luo, the kingdom's third largest ethnicity after the Niger Congo, Kikuyu, and Luye. The Kanuri, if Kanimbu is included, is the main ethnicity around Lake Chad. Sanghe, mostly Zarme, spread along the Niger River in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger throughout the historic Sanghe Empire. Tiso, Nubian, the language of Nubian, extending down today from southern Egypt into northern Sudan. Lubare, if Aringe, Low Lubare is included. The major Central Saharan language of Uganda and Congo, Kalenjin, such as Nanda and Poka. Lango and Luo language, one of the major languages of Uganda. We have the Dinka, South Sudan, Acholi, another Luo language of Uganda, the Maasai, in Gambe, the Nuer, the Fur, and the Tubu. They have 2 dialects, the Zage and Tidage. So that's all the Nilo-Saharan languages. You know, when you talk about the languages of Africa, you have the core San languages, the core speakers, and the San speakers, not one, but they are 2 groups of people. You have the core people and the San people. They put it together, the core San. And that's another group of language. Then you have your Austronesians, the Austronesian speakers, and also your Indo-European, because of colonization. But then you have your Niger Congo, and then we're going to go to now, Niger Congo. The Niger Congo language constitutes one of the world's major language families in Africa, large in terms of geographic area, number of speakers, and number of distinct languages. Now, let's scroll on down here. Now, the traditional branch and major languages of the Niger Congo family are the Kordofanian language spoken in southern central Sudan around the Nubé Mountains. The Mandi spoken in West Africa include Bambara, the main language spoken in Mali, as well as Soniki, the language spoken mainly in Mali, but also in Senegal and Mauritania. Then you have your Ajoy in Nigeria include Ajoy and Defake. You have your Dogon spoken in Mali. Atlantic includes Wolo spoken in Senegal and Fule, a language spoken across the Sahel. Then you have your Kru spoken in West Africa, including Biti, and Yahweh and Dade. You have your Sanufo spoken in Ivory Coast and Mali with the geographic island in Ghana, including Sanara and Sutyara. You have your Gur languages such as Moor and Burkina Faso, your Adamawa language such as Chambe and Cameroon. You have your Ubangi language such as Sango in the Central African Republic. You have your Kwe includes Akan spoken in Ghana. You have your Volta Niger. Your West Benu Congo including the GB language spoken in Ghana, Togo, Benin, and Nigeria, of which Iwi is best known. Yoruba and the Igbo language spoken in Nigeria. Then you have your East Benu Congo includes the very large Bantu family with Swahili, Fang, Congo, and Zulu, and many other languages of Central and Southern Africa. Now you have your Niger Congo language subgroup number of speakers, like your Kordofanian branch. Then you have your Mandi branch, Bambara, Maniki, Mandi, Soniki, Dan, Jule, Mandika, Susu, and Kapeli. That was the Mandi branch. Then you have your Atlantic branch, which is Fog. Then you have your Dogon. Then you have your Ajoy branch. Now, then you have your Volta, Congo languages. You have your North Volta group, Savannah groups, and your Kru. You have your Gur language, which is Moor or Masi, Sanufo, Sabare, Momare, and Sutyari. Then you have your Adamawa Ubangi group, Mamuyi, Njibake, Sango, and Zandi. All those are the North Volta group, North Volta group. Then you have your South Volta group, and that includes your Kwe, like Akan, Ashanti. Then you have your Iwi, then you have your Bali, your Fon, your Gay Dami, and Amy. Those are your Kwe languages in the South Volta group. Then you have your Benu Congo language, West Benu Congo language, Yoruba, Edo, Igbo, and Nu, and Adome. That's your West Benu Congo language. Then you have your East Benu Congo language, which is your Plateaus, Akokoi, Kenja, Northwestern Plateau group. Then you have your Kaya, Barone, and Tewa. That was your East Benu Congo, which was your Plateaus. Then you have your Bantu cross language, which is your cross river, Abibo, and Ife. Then you have your Bantu languages, Northern Bantu, Dakoi, Nambaloid, Takaroid, and Jaroid. Then you have your Southern Bantu, your Tia, your Ikoi. Then you have your Grassfield language. Then you have all your Bantu, Bita, Fang, Ningale, Gikuyu, Kambe, Gusi, Miru, Sukume, Enyamwezi, Swahili, Congo, Katube, Luanda, Mbandu, Congo, Yaka, Gande, Chiga, Inyankore, Soba, Hallelujah, Nanda, and Hay, Rwanda, Lube, Sangi, Tange, Inyanje, Tambuke, Maku, Macau, Ya, Ngulu, Makanda, Mbandu, Shone, in that southern enemy, North Soto and Pia South Soto, Kiswane, in that southern enemy, Loza, Zulu, Hose, Tisange, Tiswe, Mange, Chopa, Dende, Northern enemy, Swazi. Okay, that was the languages of Africa. But I'm going to show you a map of the languages of Africa. Now, this is a map that shows the languages of Africa. This is another map that shows the languages of Africa. This is another map that shows the languages of Africa. This is another map showing this, the other half of the other map showing the languages of Africa. This map here shows the Afro-Asiatic. This is another map showing the Afro-Asiatic. Okay, this is a map that shows the Nilo-Saharan. This is another map showing Nilo Sahara. Okay, this is a map that shows the Niger Congo. The Niger Congo. This is another map that shows the Niger Congo. This is a map that shows the linguistic group of the African nation of Nigeria. This is another map that shows the African nation of Nigeria and the languages. This is another map that shows the African nation of Nigeria and the languages in Nigeria and some of the surrounding African nations. We're going to continue to talk about African traditional religion, West African traditional religion. At this time, we're going to go online and we're going to go talk about the slave trade, the East African slave trade, which is also called the Arab slave trade. And let's go there now. When we talk about the East African slave trade or the Arab slave trade, we go to slavery in Africa. like I said, when you talk about the East African slave trade, you're talking about the Arab slave trade. Wikipedia will take you to slavery in Africa. Now, also, there's uh, Arab slave trade, but it's not going to give you the same information. I recommend that you go to slavery in Africa because it's more detailed. Because it's going to tell you about tip for tip. Because when you go to Arab slave trade on Wikipedia, it's not going to tell you about tip for tip. That's why he's a slave trader. So I recommend that you go to slavery in Africa. And it's going to tell you about the Bantu, the Bantu people, and being referred to as Zanj, Z-A-N-J. It's going to talk about the Bantu being enslaved in the Horn of Africa. And even today, there's a small minority of Bantu in Ethiopia, Somalia, and other countries in the Horn of Africa. It talks about Tipu Tip. He was a Swahili slave trader. Okay, like there's a lot of valuable information on slavery in Africa. Now, we're going to go to the West African slave trade, and which is the Atlantic slave trade or transatlantic slave trade. West African slave trade. When we talk about the West African slave trade, we go to Atlantic slave trade. Now, the Atlantic slave trade is got a lot of information. You talk about Europeans coming to the African continent. Okay, it talks about the triangular trade. That the first side of the trade was the export of goods from Europe to Africa. See, the second leg of the triangle exported enslaved Africans across the Atlantic Ocean to the Americas and the Caribbean islands. And the third and final part of the triangle was the return of goods to Europe from the Americas. Said Sir John Hawkins, considered the pioneer of the British slave trade, was the first to run a triangular trade, making a profit at every stop. It talks about the slave market region and participation in such as Senegal and the Gambia 4.8%, Upper Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea and Sierra Leone 4.1%, and Windward Coast, Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire 1.8%, the Gold Coast, Ghana and East Coast d'Ivoire 10.4%, the Bight of Benin, Togo, Benin and Nigeria west of the Niger Delta 20.2%, the Bight of Biafra, Nigeria east of the Niger Delta, Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon 14.6%. West Central Africa, Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Angola 39.4%. Southeastern Africa, Mozambique, and Madagascar 4.7%. Then you have your ethnic groups. The 10 most prominent. Number 1, the Congo of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Angola. Number 2, the Mandi of Upper Guinea. Number 3, the Ziwi speakers of Togo, Ghana, and Benin. The Kan of Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. The Wolof of Senegal and the Gambia. The Igbo of southeastern Nigeria. The Mbundu of Angola, including both Mbundu and Ogbundu. And Yoruba of southwestern Nigeria. The Chambay of Cameroon and the Macau of Mozambique. See the European competition. Talks about the New World destination. The first slave to arrive as part of a labor force in New World reached the island of Hispaniola, now Haiti in the Dominican Republic. In 1502, Cuba received its first 4 slaves. In 1513, Jamaica received its first shipment of 4,000 slaves. In 1518, slave exports to Honduras and Guatemala started in 1526. The first enslaved Africans to reach what would become the United States arrived in January 1526 as part of a Spanish attempt to colonize South Carolina near Jamestown. The enslaved people revolted and joined a nearby Native American tribe, while the Spanish abandoned the colony altogether. Colombia received its first enslaved people in 1533. El Salvador, Costa Rica, and Florida began their stints in the slave trade in 1541, 1563, and 1581, respectively. 17th century saw an increase in shipment with Africans arriving in the English colony of Jamestown, Virginia in 1619. These first kidnapped Africans were classed as indentured servants and freed after 7 years. Chattel slavery was good in Virginia. In 1650 and 1662, the colony adopted the principle of partus ventris. Now, talk about the end of the Atlantic slave trade. It said the United States passed the Slave Trade Act of 1794, which prohibited building or outfitting of ships in the U.S. for the use in the slave trade. In 1807, Congress outlawed the population. Beginning on January 1st, 1808, the earliest date permitted by the United States Constitution for such a ban. On Sunday, 28 October 1787, wrote in his diary, God Almighty has set before me two great oddities. You see, let me see what they did. Saying 1807, Congress outlawed the importation of slaves beginning on 1 January 1808, the earliest date permitted by the United States Constitution for such a ban. All right. There was the East African slave trade and the West African slave trade. And as we know, when we talk about the slave trade, we know that there was no ship that directly came from the African continent to the nation of Canada. So the African Canadians who were living in Canada are living there because of the Underground Railroad. Now, let's get to slave ports. We know that Veracruz, Mexico was a slave port for ships from that coming directly from Africa, bringing slaves, bringing African slaves to be more specific. They were being brought over here. And one of the slave ports was right here. In Veracruz, Mexico. And when you go online and look it up, you can look up Veracruz City, or you can look up, and you can also look up Afro Mexican. And it'll tell you that the people who sent them over to Veracruz, Mexico are them. That the slave ports were the reason what we just got to going on. There was a slave port doing that. There was there was I was gonna say, not the, well, slave port. Then when they brought the slaves over, directly from African continent, they had these slave ports. like Veracruz, Mexico, and New Orleans, Louisiana was another slave port, and also the state of Mississippi, like Gulfport, Mississippi, Biloxi, Mississippi, Natchez, Mississippi, uh, Alabama. Alabama was a slave port. And they talk about Mobile, Alabama. Then that's what it means. There's a slave port for them to bring slaves directly from Africa, and also the state of Florida. When they brought the people over here, they brought over here to be slaves. But when they got when they seen the Native Americans, and that's what the slave ports were. And then the slave port is in the state of Florida, on both sides of the state of Florida. Because you have the East Coast, that's the state of Florida. But then you have the Gulf of Mexico. You have you have the other side of the state of Florida. They get the Gulf of Mexico is there on that west, I guess you call it the western coast of the state of Florida. And those slave ports were very important. But what was more important is that you had people out here who were complaining and protesting about my YouTube video. And also, before I end this video, we're going to talk about these downloads. Okay, this is one of the downloads I had when we talk about African traditional religion. Dr. Joseph Omasei Ewolelu wrote an essay, and the title of his essay, "What is African Traditional Religion?" He gave an intelligent explanation for African traditional religion. His essay is titled, "What is African Traditional Religion?" Dr. Joseph Omasei Ewolelu. Here's another download by Dr. T.F. Jimarayi of the Department of Religious Studies, University of Edo Akita. Introduction to the Study of African Traditional Religion. Here's another download. The Impact of Colonialism on African Indigenous Religion by Dr. Joseph S. Jabinda, Ph.D., Department of Religion and Philosophy, Benue State University, Bukhari, Nigeria. This download is titled The Reason for Studying African Religion in Post-Colonial Africa. Julius Matugi Kathogo. Here's another download. The Study of African Traditional Religion and its Challenges in Contemporary Times. Rotimi V. Omotoyi, Department of Religion, University of Ilorin, Nigeria. There's another download that I had, Emerging Key Issues in the Study of African Traditional Religions by Christopher I. Ijazu. This is another download I have. Is in American Journal of Social Manual Science of God, Divinity, and Spirit in African Traditional Religion, Ontology. Reverend Emike C. Ikiki and Dr. Chiki A. Ikiopara. This is another download. African traditional religion, a conceptual and philosophical analysis. Reverend Mike C. Kiki, University of Calabar, Nigeria. Dr. Joseph Omasei Avalelo wrote a book, Sin and Its Removal in African Traditional Religion, and it can be found in the Oxford Journal, Oxford University Press, American Academy of Religion. This is a book that was written by Professor Lucius M. Lugira, World Religion, African Traditional Religion. This is another book that was written by Emmanuel Inichukwu and Azobe, Odinani, the Igbo religion. Now, this is a book titled Spirit Masters, An Introduction to African Religion by Dr. Molifi Kiti Asante and Dr. Emike Imodiaro. is a book that's written by Professor Aloysius M. McGee. World Religion, African Religion. This is a book that was written by Dr. E. Baloji Adawu, African Traditional Religion, a Definition. This is a book that was written by T.N.O. Kwakaponi, West African Traditional Religion. This is a book that was written by Kofi Asari Opoku, West African Traditional Religion. This is a book that was written by Dr. Joseph Omasede Ebalelu, Yoruba Beliefs and Sacrificial Rites. This is a book that was written by Dr. John S. M. Beatty, Introduction to African Religion. This is a book that was written by Dr. John S. M. Beatty, Concepts of God in Africa. This is a book that was written by Dr. Joseph Omasede Ebalelu and Dr. P. Idalumo Nopemu, West African Traditional Religion. This is a book that was written by Dr. John S. M. Beatty. Dr. John S. M. Beatty, African Religion and Philosophy. I'm in the process. I'm going to prepare to end this video. Before I end this video, I want to again say thanks to the Hewlett Law Firm for all the work that they're doing on this legal matter that I have against One Sound Studio and this Carlos Williams, guy named Carlos Williams, called himself Luga, and his Wicked Field Company. And thank the Hewlett Law Firm for everything. I want to thank all my fans, my support, for all your continued encouragement and support. And we're going to gonna continue to talk about African traditional religion, West African traditional religion, non-stop, continuously. And until my next video, you take care of yourself. I wish each and every one of you the very best.